Hey, this is Jocelyn and Chris Arndt.
And you're listening to Rock at Night.
Are you ready? Hey, tonight I'm gonna take you on a little trip. We're going down south by the mighty Mississippi. I'm gonna take you to a place where lights never dim. Bring your mother, your brother, and your best friend. I'm gonna show you where they dance out in the street. They'll tell you all about your body heat. Not gonna talk about it, just gonna do it. Get on down if you feel up good. Now get on down.
This is Anita, and we're doing an interview. We're sitting down here with Jocelyn and Chris Arndt. They are amazing. I would call it 70s rock and roll. It's almost like an old school type of rock and roll. And I see a lot of heavy influence from people that are really bringing this sound back, like Grace Potter, just to name one. Who are some of your major influences?
Oh, man, it's funny you say Grace Potter because she's been one of my music idols since I was little. I used to listen to Grace Potter and the Nocturnals all the time. And I think Chris would agree with that.
Oh, yeah, no, those guys, they rock. Grace Potter's awesome.
We got to play with her, which was insane. We were at the Mountain Jam Music Festival in New York last summer, right?
Mm-hmm.
Last summer. And I actually got to watch her set from stage right.
Yeah, it was
on
insane.
stage watching her play, and that was, oh my God, that was amazing. But
I'm amazed at her talent as a writer, but you two are also very prolific in regards to, well, number one, a lot of people don't know that y'all are so young and that you're in college, but you have musical maturity that goes way beyond your ages. Did your parents have anything to do with that? I mean, what was on the turntable as you were growing up?
I think Mom and Dad definitely had a lot to do with that. We used to, we had a room in our house that was just full of books and CDs, and Jocelyn and I would take turns going in and just picking out something at random to listen to. And, I mean, it was, everything was in there, from, like, you know, Mozart to the Beastie Boys and everything in between. And I think we kind of gravitated towards, like, classic rock and blues, which is where our sound comes from a little bit. But I think Mom and Dad had a huge part in making us what we are.
Oh, yeah. If you ask them, I mean, I'm sure Mom and Dad, they would both say, like, oh, yeah, we don't know where they got it from. But I think it's in there somewhere. They've always loved listening to music and loved sharing music. And I think we definitely inherited that.
And that was back when they had CDs, or were they still in the album mode?
We had a couple cassettes, and we had mostly CDs.
Uh-huh. Yeah, because when you go back to my time, it was albums, and now it's kind of funny that all of that is coming back. So what kind of comments or feelings do you have about bringing back this retro sound? Do you think that your audiences are accepting it as something that's almost new, or are they aware that it's retro?
I think that's a cool one. I think they know that it's a little bit retro, but at the same time, I like to think we put our own modern twist onto it. So it's sort of like, I like to think of it as sort of we're bridging the gap between a lot of different genres when we're ready and when we're playing. So it's actually kind of cool to have, you know, whole families come up to us after shows, and the dad, it reminds him of what he was listening to when he was our age, and then the kids like it too because they've, you know, they're sort of becoming introduced to this sort of retro blues rock thing. So I think it's definitely a sound that people seem to really pick up on and seem to kind of relate to, which is, it's really cool.
I watched the set that you did at Jam in the Van, which I love that whole concept of Jam in the Van, and I've seen other artists, you know, performing there, and I just think it's really cool, and I love the way they do it and how it's so unique. Can either of you maybe figure out or state something about maybe where was the weirdest place that you ever played?
Oh, man. Oh. The weirdest place.
We played a lot of weird places.
Yeah.
I got one. Chris, do you have any?
I'm blanking right now.
Oh man, so we've played a couple. When we were in high school, we had a band, which was actually, we met our current producer, David Bourgeois. We were playing at a beer tent at the local fair, and we were all, of course, like 15, 16, 17. So my dad was taking the beer, but we were not, able to partake in that. So we were just kind of chilling in the beer tent at the local fun fair when David met us and said, hey, you could really do this for a living, right? And we were like, what? You can do music? But that was weird. We've also we've played a couple of parades in our day.
That's weird. Especially, the parade's it's like a 4-mile parade trail, and the town is like 100 feet long. So you're just playing a cornfield for like 10 minutes, and everyone goes,
wow,
30 seconds to shine.
And you don't know what to play, right? Because you're playing to different people, so you're playing the same 3 songs, just kind of.
Yeah.
Wow. Well, I think those concepts are so cool in regards to, these different things that they're doing there, like, what is it, So Far? There's other videos that you can watch, like you can travel and do house concerts, and there's another one that's based on that. It's kind of cool that the music industry is going that way because it promotes the independent artists. What do you think is the difference between the artists of the past that were able to become superstars and be backed by these huge labels and lots of money and support, and being an independent artist and really doing everything yourselves? What is the difference to you, and what's more meaningful and more captivating for you to proceed in your career like that?
I think that the music industry is definitely it's gone through some rough times, I guess you could say, in the past couple decades, what with like the internet and all of that. But so I don't know. It seems like record labels are a bit more tentative investing in artists than they were maybe 30 or 40 years ago. But on the same token, with all the tools that you have in the modern age, I think artists really have the opportunity to try to do more independent than they could before, because you can really connect with your fans through all the different various social medias, and there's so many more outlets to get your music out there. It's no longer limited to just radio promotion and touring, which granted that those are definitely 2 huge parts of the game, but there's a lot more to it now too, which is kind of cool, I think.
And I don't know if a lot of the listeners know, but you all are going to Harvard, and I have so many questions about that. I'll only ask a few, but tell us a little bit about how that is backing you up in regards to your music and your artistry.
Oh man, so yeah, we're closet dorks, I guess you could say. But yeah, it gets pretty busy trying to kind of balance the two, but we love them both, so it sort of is worth it. And I definitely think going to college makes us really appreciate the music in more ways.
Right.
It's sort of like I'm doing homework on, a tour bus on the way to Nashville, and I'm like, gee,
kind of wish I was.
I'd much rather be playing a show right now.
Yeah.
But no,
right.
I think they complement each other because they make us really appreciate what we've got with music, and music is definitely sort of what it's. We're going for it hardcore.
Yeah.
We're going for music all the way.
It's
definitely made us appreciate just how much we want that.
And Jocelyn, you are you're actually an English major. I was too, believe it or not.
Oh, cool.
And Chris, you are doing music engineering and computer science.
Mm-hmm.
So that's helping you learn a lot about the back end of the music industry itself, and being able to actually produce in regards to, in addition to performing. So how do you juggle classwork, and how do you get it all done? How do you do the touring? How do you get all of your tours together, your gigs, and then be able to be focused on school. That to me is it sounds like it's so incredibly challenging. I don't know if a lot of people could do that.
I think it probably helps when you really love what you're doing. I mean, music is it never really feels like work. It's definitely our job. It's honestly probably more our job than going to Harvard at this point, because it's like what we spend the vast majority of our time doing. But we love it so much that I don't know if we'd really have it any other way, you know?
Yeah, and we're lucky enough to have, like, we've got people who've got our back. You know, we've got an amazing team of people, and they help us. You mentioned booking. We have an amazing booking agency coalition in Nashville, and we've got an awesome publicist, Big Picture Media, and we've also got a great team up in upstate New York. I mentioned David, our producer, and we've got a great crew up there, and they help us sort of with everything. So it's definitely like it's a big team effort.
For sure.
Yeah.
How did you assemble this great band? Because you've got some wonderful backing musicians. Can you talk a little bit about them?
Sure. Yeah. So we met the people that we play with through our producer David Bourgeois, and it's been really awesome to be able to sort of go on the road and play these great shows with awesome people. So right now we're on the road as a 4-piece. David's a drummer, and then we've also got Kate Scroy on the bass, and it's a really fun group. It's been a really fun tour so far.
And you all come from like Cowtown, New York, which is like I call it Cowtown because you had made a comment before in another interview that there was more cows than people. And and if you had your choice and you could settle and create a base anywhere in the United States, where would it be?
Oh, I don't know.
I mean, it's kind of hard to say. I guess the sort of cop-out answer would be New York, Nashville, or LA, because those are the 3 big markets. But honestly, I feel like we kind of got it pretty good where we are in Albany. I mean, we're signed with Ridge Road Entertainment. That's David's company. He's our manager as well as our producer out of there. And I mean, his team, like Jocelyn said, they kind of make a lot happen for us. So I don't know. I think it's a good location. We're close enough to a lot of the cities, and it's gives us a good sort of point of reach for like the entire Eastern Seaboard, and then we get to come out to LA like a couple times a year too, which is awesome. So.
Have you all planned on doing anything outside of the U.S., or have you done any gigs in Canada, or are you looking to maybe head over to Europe at some point?
Oh, we're working on it. We're always thinking about new places to play. We actually we're currently pushing Edges to our album to radio, and we're getting a lot of airplay in Canada. So that might be next on the list here for our international tour. That would be pretty sweet. So, definitely, and Europe would be great as well.
How do you all get into, like, the mode where you can write? Do you write together? Do you write separately? Do you have the notebook by the bed so you can take notes when you wake up? Or how does that whole creative process work for the both of you?
I think it's definitely all of the above. You know, I mean, I think everyone has that notebook by their bed so they can wake up and write whatever crazy idea they had in their dream or whatever. And that's definitely like where a lot of the inspiration comes from. And we work a little bit on our own when we're sort of trying to figure out what an idea in our head might be. But as soon as we've got something that's a little bit more concrete, we bring it to the other. I bring it to Jocelyn, or she brings it to me, and then we kind of work from there to sort of build on each other's stuff and create a song. It's definitely a super collaborative process.
Yeah. And then from there, you know, we take it to the studio, and that just opens more doors. So, you know, we come in with a song, and it's sort of like a kid in a candy store. We can try a zillion things until we make it as perfect as we can make it. And then, you know, with David and with the rest of our crew, we can get, you know, amazing people to play with us. We got, you know, Danny Lewis from Government Mule to step in on some Hammond organ, and we got G-Love on blues harp. Like we can get these insane people to come in and play on our music and make it, you know, even better. Get that just the right guest to come in and sort of put the cherry on the top of the sundae there.
I was looking about, in regards to your collaborations with Government Mule, Danny Lewis from Government Mule and G-Love, and who are some other people that you'd like to collaborate with?
Ooh.
Everyone. I mean, I guess that's kind of the cop-out answer, but honestly, I don't think I've ever met a musician I didn't want to try to jam out with to some degree. But as far as people to get on the album, or maybe our next album, or people who inspire us, and we would be really happy to have play with us. Man. I mean, I'd love if Mark Knopfler wanted to come over, And
oh wow! Yeah.
Yeah, I would be pretty okay with that. Or I don't know. I mean, so many people.
Mark, if it was me.
Yeah.
Awesome.
And whose voice inspires you, Jocelyn? I mean, I know Grace Potter is probably a real inspiration, but what are some other female voices in rock that you love?
Oh, I love, Janis Joplin. She's a queen. She'll always be, the queen.
Right.
I love Pat Benatar, Joan Jett. Oh man, Blondie. She's great. Debbie Harry. She's awesome. And then, Aretha Franklin, just those big voices that you know exactly who it is the minute they open their mouth. That kind of thing is super inspiring for me.
Yeah, those voices are unmistakable. That's certainly true, and it's like they've created a name. And of course, now they're all legends. I remember most of them in the very very beginnings of their careers, and they've these women that are just fantastic in rock and roll with the powerful voices. They've still got the staying power. I mean, most of them, if they haven't passed, they're still around. They're still singing. So that's really the proof of the pudding that these voices never die. They're just there forever. So let me ask you this: in regards to the next album, and have you got songs in the can? Are you ready to go for another one, or what's your plans on another upcoming album? And then you can tell us about the one you just released in February.
All right.
Yeah, we're definitely, we're always writing, and we've got a bunch in the can. We're definitely, I think the next album should be released sometime this winter. So, we're working on it for sure. But we just finished up the sort of recording and mixing process for a cover of Tracy Chapman's "Give Me One Reason," a live cover. And so that's out there very, very soon, within the next couple weeks. So you could definitely keep a lookout for that, because that'll be available super soon.
Yeah, we're always kind of working on giving people new music. That's kind of what we want to do.
Yeah, Tracy Chapman's awesome. Now, your album Edges came out February 26th. What was the main theme around that album?
So it's funny because the songs on Edges are kind of a little bit of a mishmash of different stages of our lives. Some of them were written when we were younger, when we were in high school, and then some of them were written, as recently as, last year. So when we were in the studio recording it and producing it, we really wanted to make sure it had this cohesive undercurrent to it, that everything kind of fit together. We didn't want to give anybody whiplash from track to track. So it was sort of like, I think the theme underneath, we wanted it all to have this retro throwback vibe to it. We wanted that to tie everything together. And beyond that, we sort of just wanted to really, really showcase our songwriting and showcase the music and make the music sort of as good as we could make it. So those were kind of our goals going into it. And I think it really listens as sort of a cohesive album from start to finish. That was our goal, and I think we accomplished it. So.
Yeah, I've listened to every cut. It's amazing. I highly recommend it. It's just the type of music that you can pop in the player and just drive. Unfortunately, some of those things could get me a speeding ticket. So, when it's really driving rock and roll, I get kind of like a lead foot, and I get myself in trouble. So, But sorry.
I said maybe we should have a disclaimer.
Warning.
Yeah.
Yeah. Put a disclaimer on the cover. That's for sure. Now, let me ask you this. What do you all like to do when you're not doing music and you're not going to school and you're not committed to doing something regarding the music industry?
Free time? What is that?
Right.
Oh yeah, we're big food people.
I like to cook and I like to eat. I was studying music in school. That's like what I like to do. Sleep is nice.
Eat, play, sleep, repeat. No, we're all big. We're big into, I guess, sort of growing up in upstate New York. We're big into winter. We actually like the snow. We like winter. I miss it when it's not around. So we make sure we do a lot of skiing and snowboarding in the wintertime whenever we can grab a free minute on the hill. And then what else? I've tried to knit before. I can do a scarf, and that's it.
Yeah, that's about me. That's about me too.
Yeah, so you understand. I can't really get the whole I don't know, any other difficulty other than the baseline knitting. Chris, have you tried to knit before?
No, I have not. I think I would probably only be able to make rectangles too.
Yeah. Well, I mean that's a start, I guess, but.
Well, knitting is a good talent to have when you're up in the snow for sure, because you can, with the things you make, you could stay warm. But I know that for men to knit, that's not a bad thing. In fact, a lot of men in different places like Scotland and Iceland, they know how to knit. They can knit their own socks, which is kind of amazing. But yeah, but yeah, and I
wouldn't be upset if I could knit.
Yeah, it's very meditative. Actually, it's very calming and meditative. I found it. But, I'm certainly not a pro at doing it, but I've done it, and I enjoy it as well. I enjoy creating things that way. But yeah, relaxing and meditative when you're doing the repeating motion. It's very calming. So when you all, this is going to be the last question, so we'll wrap it up, but I wanted to ask you all, when you all go to a live show, what would be like your 3 top bands that you would like to see that you've seen before, that gave you just like the show of a lifetime, that you would pay for a ticket again?
Oh, that's
a really good question.
I would see Grace Potter any day of the week.
Yeah, I'm kind of the same opinion. She puts on an amazing show. It's so cool. Who else? Oh, we just played with a band called Here Come the Mummies. We were in Washington.
Oh, yes. Right.
They were so good. They were amazing.
Yeah.
I was so into it, and they have such a funny, awesome, just insane show.
Yeah.
I would definitely see them again, and I would love to play with them again. And that was 2. Anybody, I don't know. Government Mule, they put on an insane show, and they just play and play and play for hours. We talked to Danny, and he's a super nice guy, and he was just we just like to play. You do. They do 3-hour shows. It's awesome.
You definitely get your money's worth with government.
Oh, yeah.
I saw Grace Potter probably about 2 or 3 years ago. It was a great show. And then I saw Here Come the Mummies actually for Rocket Night. We did a write-up on them last October. They came here to the Tampa area, and they just blew everybody away. They were just awesome.
Yeah, they're insane.
They're so awesome.
Yeah, and Government Mule, I know one of the people that works with him, he's local here, but or was local, but I have not had a chance to see them, so I'm looking forward to that. But I want to thank you for this interview. I'm looking forward to hearing some more music from you guys, and when I'll be watching for that, is it going to be a new video, the Tracy Chapman cover? You're going to do the cover, or so it'll be a video as well?
Mm-hmm.
Yep, there's a live performance video with it.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, very good. I'll make sure we put that out as well. So, but thank you,
Thank you. Thanks for having us.
You're listening to Rock at Night.
Thanks for the intro melody. It's called Get On Down by Billy Bass Alford. Thanks.